Hey everybody, let me talk to you about what I have in this 10-quart pressure cooker. I'm not actually pressure cooking anything, but I am making bone broth. So in here I have a 10-pound turkey worth of bones. So I roasted the turkey and then took the bones and kept them, and I also had a few legs from some chicken dinner that I made, and so also so I combined the two, and so it's a poultry stock. In here also you'll see some carrots and onions and celery, and there are about 2 large carrots, and 4 stalks of celery, and then 2 medium-sized onions. Also in here, this has been cooking for about 12 hours, and in here you can hardly make them out, but there are lots of herbs. I threw in 3 or 4 bay leaves and some thyme. Those are the main herbs that I used. And then finally I topped it off with water, and I've brought it up first to boil, and then I turned it down to low, and it's been simmering, like I said, for about 12 hours, and I will let it continue to cook for as much as 72 hours, but it could be consumed right now. And all I would do is just take a colander and strain out the large pieces and the bones, and just discard them, and then what I'll have left is a beautiful, nourishing poultry bone stock. I want to mention that you need to be sure to add is some sort of acid, and for chicken or poultry stock, I like to add just apple cider vinegar. You can also add a white wine, and so about a ½ a cup of white wine, or not quite that much, a ¼ cup or so of vinegar. And then as you're finished, you can season it to taste, and with salt and pepper. And typically with this, I will I'll take half of it or a little less and add it to a soup, and then the rest I will chill and then, or let it cool and then freeze. And one other thing to keep in mind, that since this is cooking for quite a while, you might want to have a rag nearby, because you're going to have a lid on like I showed you, and I'm not actually keeping it on tight. I'm actually pressure cooking it. It just, my pressure cooker is a perfect size, and so that's what I use. But I do want to leave the lid kind of tilted, and so that some some of the evaporation can take place. And as that evaporation takes place, it's going to drip and just kind of leave a mess on your oven, your stove top. And so I just kind of every once in a while will come and wipe it off like that. All right, so the main benefits that you're getting from the bone broth, making your own bone broth, is more than just flavor. You're getting nutrients, minerals, calcium, and all kinds of other minerals, and then also it's so good for your connective tissue. Bone broth is high in glycosaminic glycans, which just goes right to your connective tissue, your joints, and it's going to strengthen them. And so I highly encourage you to try making your own bone broth. One last little tip that I want to give you is that if, and as you see the water evaporating, because I started out and I filled this to, nearly to the top, and as it just simmers very, very slowly, some of that water is going to go away, and so feel free to add a little bit more. So I've already added about an extra liter or so since I first started this. So those are a few tips, and I encourage you to try making your own bone broth.